You know, in the world of the Overman and the Void, we're pretty used to villains who are all about power or maybe just pure chaos. But today we're diving into something else, something much, much colder. We're talking about an antagonist who is born from the desire for absolute, silent nothingness. Welcome to The Explainer.
So let's start with this quote from Mephistopheles, who's basically the grand architect of this whole new threat. And look, this isn't just some poetic line, right? This is a mission statement. It sets up the entire conflict as this battle between fundamental elements. You've got the fleeting, passionate spark of fire against the eternal, crushing, silent weight of water.
And that really brings us to the first big idea here. I mean, we're all familiar with the will to create, to build things up, to become more. But what if there was an equal and opposite force out there in the cosmos? A fundamental drive to uncreate, to dissolve everything back to a state of absolute zero. And here's where you can really see the two sides of that coin. On one side, you've got the will to power. Think of it like fire. This ambition to climb the mountain to become something greater than you are. But on the other side, you have the will to nothingness. That's the cold, gravitational pull of the drowning deep, a deep desire to just stop, to cease to exist entirely. So you have to ask, how could a being driven by this will to nothingness even come to exist? Well, the origin story is this absolutely chilling parable. And it all starts not with some big monster, but with a single, tiny, self-aware droplet of water in a huge, shimmering ocean.
For this one droplet, see, consciousness wasn't a gift. Oh no, it was a curse, a terrible freedom. It felt this immense, crushing pressure of its own individuality, the sheer terror of just being a separate, unique thing. Imagine looking at your own reflection and feeling nothing but absolute horror. All it wanted was an escape from the weight of being itself.
And this feeling, this absolute horror of being you, it actually has a name in this world. Odium fati. It's the perfect, twisted inversion of amor fati, the love of fate that defines all our heroes. This isn't just being sad. This is an active, burning hatred for the very fact that you exist at all.
Now, here's the really creepy part. The droplet's journey down to the bottom of the ocean, that wasn't an accident. It wasn't random. It was a guided process, a deliberate descent into an architecture of pure negation, a system designed specifically to dismantle the self. You can literally watch the industrial process of unmaking happen in stages. First, that self-hatred kicks off the descent. Then, a predatory whispering current finds it, and it validates every fear, telling the droplet its unique shimmer is just static disturbance, an error that needs to be corrected. From there, it's drawn into this cold mechanical core, like a factory for the soul. And what comes out isn't a new being, it's a perfect, mindless duplicate.
And you really got to get this. This transformation, it wasn't a rebirth. It wasn't a purification. It was an industrial correction. The system saw individuality as a flaw, a bug in the code, and it processed that droplet until the error was completely and utterly erased.
And from this horrifying process of erasure, the final product emerges. And the being that crawled out of that core, it's a perfect, terrifying mirror image to the fiery, chaotic force we know as the Crimson Jester.
So before we get the big reveal, just think about it for a second. What's the true opposite of an uncontrollable, passionate, chaotic fire? It's not just ice, right? It's the all-consuming, silent, and crushing pressure of the deepest abyss.
This chart just lays it all out, clear as day. The Crimson Jester is fire, born from this primal, chaotic explosion, driven by a love of his own fate. The Sapphire Jester? He's water, born from an industrial assembly line of erasure, driven by a hatred of his. One of them screams that stagnation is death. The other one quietly proves that individuality is simply an error.
So you see, he's not just another bad guy for our hero to fight. He is the complete philosophical negation of the hero's entire worldview. He is the living, breathing embodiment of everything the Overman stands against. He is, quite literally, the anti-Overman.
Okay, so what does this actually mean for the world? What happens when this perfected agent of erasure finally makes it back to the surface? What kind of threat are we even looking at?
The reason he's so terrifying is his weapon, assimilation. It's not a sword, it's not a spell. He doesn't kill you, he erases you.
He just washes over you with this promise of peace, this end to loneliness, until you completely forget you were ever a separate person to begin with.
His threat is just so absolute, so insidious. He doesn't shatter the great monuments of creation. He just slowly erodes their foundations. He offers the ultimate temptation, doesn't he? The sweet, sweet oblivion of just letting go. His final goal is to return the entire shimmering ocean of unique souls to its primordial uniform state, a flat, dead mirror reflecting absolutely nothing at all.
And this quote from our hero, Wotan, this is the moment of recognition. It's when he finally sees his true opposite arrive, not with the bang, but with the chilling, unstoppable sound of rising water. The great fire of creation has been put out. Which leaves us and this entire world with one final, haunting question. The new wager is this: can the fiery star of individuality possibly survive when it's been submerged in an ocean whose one and only purpose is to drown it in a cold, silent peace? Can a star burn underwater?